Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, let us discuss about a VHDL syntax coding style. So in VHDL syntax coding style, we have four types of these coding styles. Those are behavior, data flow, structural, and hybrid. These are the four types of VHDL syntax coding style. So let us discuss each one individually. So first we have a structural modeling. So this structural modeling is a very similar to the schematic entry. So in this case implemented as a text instead of graphically. Okay, so as the digital designs become more complex, it become less likely that we can use only one of three implementation styles seen before. So here we are using hybrid VHDL module. So here the term structural modeling is a terminology that VHDL uses for the modular design. So if you are designing a complex project, you should split into or more simple designs in order to easy handle the complexity. So here the benefits of the modular design in VHDL are very similar to the benefits that modular design or object-oriented designs provides for higher level computer languages. So here we have the structure of VHDL, structural modeling coding style. This is the structure for that modeling style. So here modular design allows you to pack low level functionality into the modules. So this approach allows a design reuse without the need to retest the wheel every time. Okay, so in this structural modeling, we also have one example that is called a hierarchical approach. So in this this is the next step for this structural mode coding. So in this step, we have we have in this case we have a top level design. So we have a design one and design two. So in this we have two designs. So each design has subdivisions also. So in design one we have subdesign one and subdesign two. In design two we have subdesign three and subdesign four. So this is the complete structure for hierarchical approach. So next, let us see about this structural architecture declaration. So in order to instance the component inside a design, so you shall declare the components in the declarative part of the architecture and also instance the component in the architecture statement section. So here the declaration section of the architecture is included between the keyword is and begin. So this is the program for this architecture. So here we have an entity name is E, the entity name is is, and the architecture declarative part is with the begin. So here this is the program. So the this statement section or this statement section of the architecture is included between the word keyword begin and the end. So here the component declaration to be inserted in the declarative section of the architecture. So here we can see uh, so here we have to copy the entity declaration relative to the component. So replace the keyword entity with the keyword component. So we have to replace the word so that so that the deleted word is, if you use VHDL 1993 standard or above, you can leave the keyword is. So replace this entity name after the keyword end with the keyword component. So um, by using this component uh, declaration in the architecture area, so we have to replace the keyword component with instant name here with the instant name and add a keyword map after the generic and the port clause. So in order to map generic and port, uh, so here replace the comma with two symbols equal greater than and replace the semicolon with the colon. So an example will clarify better. So here this is the structural architecture declaration example. So in this example, we want to realize the structural implementation, the entity and or in the figure. So as you can see, this is the figure for the and or entity implementation. So here there are four input ports A, B, D, and E, and one output port G. So here the instance U1 and U2 of the two AND gate are connected to the U3 using two wide named C and F. So in this figure, the entity declaration for AND2 and OR2 component. Okay, so in this moment, we shouldn't care about the architecture of AND2 and OR2 entity. So it could be structural with other component or behavior also. So let us see the architecture of the AND OR entity in order to understand the better structural. So as you can see here, we have a small program for the entity. If given A, B, C, D, E, and G for the inputs and the output. So this is the small program, and uh, and we also have the architecture program and the begin program also for as I mentioned earlier. So this is the program for the both architecture and the begin. So in this architecture declarative section, we found the component declaration AND2 and OR2, and as well as the signal declaration C and F. So in the statement section, we found the component. So now by paying attention to the port mapping, here the port A, B, and C mapped with here, port A, B, and C are mapped with instance U1 respectively. So the entity input port A and B. So the internal wire signal C. Okay, so the port A, B, and C are mapped in the instance U2 are respectively the entity input port D and E, the internal wire signal F. So then the instance U3 has a port A mapped on the signal C, input port B on the signal F, and the output port C on the entity, output port G. So this is the as the general rule, the input or output port of the entity are signal inside the architecture. So when the input port can be only read, the output port can only be written. Okay. So if we are trying to read from the output port or to try to write to an input port, the stimulator rises an error and stops. So this is for the topic structural modeling. So now let us discuss about the another topic called behavioral modeling style. So in this behavior modeling, this describes how the circuit should behave. Okay, so for these reasons, behavioral modeling is considered highest abstraction level as compared to the data flow or structural modules. So in this, the VHDL synthesizer tool decides the actual circuit implementation. So here the VHDL behavior module is widely used in test bench design since the test bench design doesn't care about the hardware realization. So here this is the example we have and or VHDL behavior modeling style example. So in this behavioral modeling style, we have an example. In this structural modeling style page is an example of and/or entities structural architecture implementation. So here we have the following VHDL code implementation. As you can see here, this is the small program for this VHDL code implementation. And we also have the diagram for the VHDL and or VHDL behavior modeling style example. This is the small example. So in this behavioral modeling, we can also uh, know about this signal assignment. So in this VHDL modules, a response occur through signals. Okay, so here a signal can be declared only and executively in sections of uh, concurrent code. Okay, so here the architecture declaration section between the keyword is and begin. So a signal can be assigned in two ports which is connected and in process which elaborates it. So here the simplest of the process is the signal assignment statement in the behavior modeling style. So this signal assignment statement is it will be shown according to the situation in which it is used. as a signal assignment statement, can be used in both concurrent and sequential code sections also. Okay, so this is for the topic behavioral modeling. So coming to the next topic, we have VHDL sequential statements. We have some statements here. Those are process statement, variable assignment statement, signal assignment statement, wait statement, if statement, case statement, null statement, loop statement, exit statement, next statement, and assertion statement. So these are some of the statements for VHDL sequential statements. These are very important. So let us discuss each one individually. So first we let us see about this process statement. So here the process statement is a concurrent statement itself. So in this VHDL process syntax contains sensitivity list, declarative part, and as well as in a sequential statement section also. So in this, the process statement is very similar to the classical programming language. So here the code inside the process statement is executed sequentially. When the process statement is declared in the concurrent section of the architecture, so two different processes are executed concurrently. So the so here the declaration process statement is given below. Here we have a small program called process label, process and sensitivity list. So this is the small program for the declaration process. So here the process label is an optional. Okay, so you can avoid using label. So labeling all process you use, the code will be clear and it will be simple to arrange in a stimulative environment. So we will address the process statement. If we want to address the process statement, here there is a simple example of and or to entity implemented with the process. So the program which you are seeing here is the simple program that is the example of this process statement. Okay. So here in this, the entity declaration is the same as we seen in the previous examples. So in fact, the interfaces, the external word are identical. So in this example, the architecture implementation is different. So the architecture declarative section is empty. We don't need internal signal declaration. So here the circuit implemented using a process. So in this process sensitivity list are declared all the signals which the process sensitivity to the fact the process is evaluated at any time of transaction on the signal process. So here the process derived the entity output port. So as you can see, you shall understand the concept since it is the principal reason of the error in the hardware implementation of VHDL coding. So by coming next, we have the variable assignment statement. So this variable assignment statement is assigned to the value of an expression to target variable. So here we have a small example which we given here and a small program also. This is the small program for the variable assignment statement. And next we have a signal assignment statement. So here the signal assignment statement is typically considered a concurrent statement rather than the sequential statement. So it can be used as a sequential statement but has the side effect of obeying the general rule when the target actually get updated. So in particular, a signal cannot be declared within the process or subprogram, but must be declared is some other appropriate scope. So here the target is updated in the scope where the target is declared. So when the sequential code reaches its end uh, or when it comes to wait or other event that triggers the update. So here we have the program for this signal assignment statement. So next we have the wait statement. So this wait statement causes execution of sequential statements to wait. So here we have a small program as you can see. And next we have if statement. So this if statement is a conditional structure. So here we have a if statement program as you've seen here. This is the if statement program. And next we have a case statement. This case statement execute one specific case of an expression equal to the choice. So here the choice must be constant of the some discrete type as the expression. So we have an example here for the program for the case statement also. Next, we have a null statement. So, so you know that a null is an empty. So this statement is used when the statement is used when because there is nothing to do. So then we have this null statement. So we have a simple label called null, and we have an output called null. That means it's empty. So next we have a statement called exit statement. So this statement is used in a loop to immediately exit the loop. Okay, so when exit means we have to, uh, this statement is used when we want the loop to immediately exit. So we have some program here. We have to type this program so that when we type this program, uh, this loop program will immediately exit. Okay. So next we have the loop statement. So this loop statement is there are this loop statement there are three kinds of statements we have here in this loop. We have a label loop, and we also have a variable, and we also have a coding. So these three are three kinds of loop statements we have. So we can use any other one in this loop statement. As you can see, we have a program here for the whole loop statement for a variable range, and as well as a while coding while condition loop also. We have some program here. So next we have a next statement. So this next statement may be used in the loop to cause the next procedure. Okay, so when we type the label next, and it takes the statements to the next condition. Okay, so this is the program for the simple next statement. And lastly, we have an assertion statement. So this assertion statement is used for internal continuously to check or errors if there are any errors in the statement. We use this assertion statement. So here we have a simple program. So here we have some names like predefined names are note, warning, error, failure. So these are default statements. So this is for the today's topic. I hope you understand this. Thank you.